Everyone imagines a spiritual awakening brings a rush of energy and joy. But what if I told you that, for many, it's exactly the opposite? Instead of excitement, there's a strange silence, a kind of soul-level fatigue. Goals that once felt non-negotiable collapse overnight. You look at life and think, none of this makes sense anymore. It may seem like a problem, but it's actually the beginning of the most powerful transformation you'll ever experience. In the next few minutes, you'll see why losing motivation is, paradoxically, the clearest sign that something far greater is being born within you. When the ego loses strength, something curious happens. Goals that once seemed vital suddenly lose their glow. That promotion that kept you awake at night, the perfect image in the mirror, the applause from the crowd, everything turns colorless. It's as if the engine that once drove life simply stops. And it's not laziness. It's a quiet call to rethink what's truly essential. Many people panic, but it's only the first sign that something bigger wants to be born. Picture an actor who, in the middle of a play, steps off stage and forgets his lines. The audience waits, but he no longer remembers the script. That's what an ego collapse feels like. Masks fall, old roles no longer fit. Suddenly, being the perfect employee or the person who's always right makes no sense. It's uncomfortable, yes, but freeing. It's an invitation to improvise a new play, this time written by your true self. This moment shakes daily life in a way that can be frightening. Work loses excitement, friendships shift, old pleasures feel flat. Some try to force the scene, but realize that pushing only deepens the emptiness. The secret is to listen. Meditating, journaling, or walking aimlessly are simple practices to help decipher this silence. And if you pay close attention, this emptiness is actually the doorway into a mysterious sacred limbo, the next step of the journey. After the ego collapses, many people feel as if life has pressed the pause button. This is what Jung called enantiodromia, when the force that once drove us to act, achieve, and perform reverses, urging us to turn inward. It's as if the universe whispers, "Don't run now, stay still and notice." It might feel backward, but it's a creative rest. Those who dare to remain in this apparent nothingness discover that something is quietly reorganizing itself. The best image for this is the caterpillar inside its cocoon. From the outside, it looks like endless sleep. Inside, it dissolves into a biological soup before becoming a butterfly. In real life, this process might look like staying home more, reading instead of posting, sensing instead of planning. It's a time of soul digestion. Forcing productivity here is like opening the cocoon too soon, it simply doesn't work. This is where the mind tries to sabotage. Am I depressed? Did I lose my way? But this limbo isn't illness, it's maturation. The key is to welcome the interval. Slow walks, gardening, or writing letters you'll never send can help you listen to what's growing inside. And as that listening deepens, something interesting emerges. The shadow, the part we've always avoided, starts to show up, revealing the next step. As the quiet of the sacred limbo deepens, what was once hidden begins to surface. Thoughts, impulses, memories, even desires you swore were long gone come knocking. Jung called this the shadow, the side of the personality we suppress to keep our good person image. But ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. On the contrary, it grows in the dark, waiting to be acknowledged. Integrating the shadow doesn't mean acting out destructive impulses. It means accepting their existence. For example, admitting envy, anger, or vanity without needing to act on them. A helpful exercise is to write, unfiltered, everything you dislike in yourself, then reread it with compassion. This isn't self-judgment, it's self-knowledge. Like opening a window to air out a stuffy room, you let light pour in. Many confuse this deep dive with depression, but there's a subtle, crucial difference. In shadow work there's awareness. You observe, dialogue, and slowly reconcile with the parts of yourself you once rejected. It's a natural, almost inevitable process on the path to spiritual maturity. And as this reconciliation unfolds, a new strength begins to rise from within, as if a deeper self is ready to take the helm. After facing the shadow, something unprecedented begins to pulse. It's as if a new source of energy awakens, but without the ego's urgency. This force doesn't seek approval or applause, it springs from what Jung called the self, the deeper I. Suddenly, there's a quieter motivation, one that doesn't rely on external goals. It's the difference between chasing the wind and letting the wind carry your sails. In this phase, decisions are guided less by logic and more by an inner resonance. The right books fall into your hands, people show up by chance, opportunities arise through synchronicities. This is the beginning of what Jung called the symbolic life, where life's events carry hidden meanings. Instead of planning every detail, you begin to sense when it's time to move forward, step back, or simply wait. Practical examples: maybe a sudden urge to move to a new city, start an artistic project, or reconnect with family, without rational calculation, but with an undeniable sense of rightness. It's a motivation that doesn't shout but guides with precision. And as this inner compass strengthens, the next natural step unfolds, a life more and more guided by the self, overflowing with creativity, peace, and authenticity. When the self fully takes the lead, life breathes to a different rhythm. Responsibilities remain, but the weight changes, work, family, and friendships flow without that old pressure to prove something. New forms of creativity often emerge, writing a book, learning an instrument, starting a purpose-driven business. Everything carries the taste of authenticity, as if each act were a natural expression of who you truly are. Peace also takes on a new meaning. It isn't the absence of problems but the confidence that every challenge has a purpose. An unexpected bill, an invitation out of the blue, even a traffic delay can all be read as signs of a larger movement. Simple practices, like morning meditation or dream journaling, help maintain this inner dialogue. Life becomes an ongoing conversation between your inner world and the outer one. Over time, you realize you no longer need to chase inspiration or motivation, they find you. Projects seem to write themselves, meetings fall into place, decisions gain clarity. It's a state where being and doing blend, and daily life becomes fertile ground for discovery. This is precisely where your video invites viewers to dive even deeper, starting with a powerful introduction. Now it's your turn. Will you keep trying to squeeze into old roles, or will you give space for the self to guide your next chapter? What in your life has completely lost meaning and is asking to be released? Which part of your shadow can you already face without fear? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone walking the same path. And if you want to keep receiving insights to navigate these changes with more awareness, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. The next video might be the very push you need to live with deeper authenticity and peace.